If you ever heard that sound at night near Lake Victoria, you did not go outside. You grabbed the nearest metallic object and you hit it hard, fast, because what was passing your home was not wind. Welcome to Echoes of the Luo. Today, one of the most feared and most fascinating beliefs in all of Luo folklore, the Nyawawa. The Nyawawa are spirits, not ordinary spirits, not the tipo of a grandmother or the ancestor of a clan. These are the spirits of people who died long ago, during a devastating measles epidemic that swept through Luo land generations back. Many died, too many, and according to the belief passed down through the ages, those who perished were buried in Lake Victoria. But they did not simply rest. They made a vow to return, to warn the living whenever another epidemic was approaching, to come back, not in peace, but as a signal, a terrible, noisy, terrifying signal that something bad was on its way. And so they come, at night, from the lake, moving through villages, through paths, through homesteads, carrying with them the echo of their own suffering as a warning for the living. You cannot see the Nyawawa, but you hear them long before they arrive. First comes the wind, a strange wind, moving in a way that does not feel natural. Then the sounds begin. Voices, talking, singing, drums being beaten, cattle being driven, children crying, women wailing. All at once, all together, a confused crowded noise, like an entire village moving through the darkness. Some who have experienced Nyawawa say they could make out shadow figures, forms that looked like people but could not be seen clearly, like shapes just beyond the edge of what the eye can hold. And the most chilling detail of all, they call people by name. Your name, spoken clearly in the dark by something you cannot see. When the Nyawawa pass near your home, you have a job to do. Grab any metal object, a pan, a bell, a pot, anything that will make a loud clanging sound. Beat it hard, as loud as you can. This does two things. It scares the Nyawawa away from settling near you, and it warns your neighbors so they can do the same. The sound spreads from home to home like an alarm across the village, driving the spirits back towards the lake. But there are rules about what you must not do. Do not respond if someone calls your name at night. This is why Luos have always had a rule against answering calls in the dark. If the Nyawawa are nearby and they call your name and you answer, you become their victim. You are now seen. You are now claimed. Do not shout other people's name at night, because the Nyawawa hear everything and they will repeat the name, and if the person responds, they are at risk. Do not whistle at night. Whistling at night among the Luo has always been forbidden, not just because of Nyawawa, but because any wandering spirit can be drawn by the sound. You whistle at night and you are calling something, and you do not always know what answers. Not everyone agrees on where the Nyawawa come from. The most common belief is the lake, Lake Victoria, Namlolwe, is where the dead of the epidemic were buried, and it is from there that they emerge. Others point to a place called Wadh Remo, a name that translates directly as blood show, an open field that was never settled or built upon because it was the site of fierce battles between two Luo communities. Blood soaked into the ground, and some believe it is from that blood-soaked earth that the Nyawawa rises. What most people agree on is this. The Nyawawa typically appear at least once or twice a year. They are most common during the dry season and the plowing season, when the land is open and people are most exposed. The Nyawawa are not simply frightening. They are dangerous. If you speak to them, you can become dumb. Your voice simply stops. If they settle on your property, illness follows, death can follow. They are said to cause rain to fail. When rains did not come and the community could not understand why, sometimes it was the medicine man who would see that Nyawawa had settled somewhere nearby, and until they were driven away, the land suffered. When Nyawawa were discreet, when they moved through without being heard, it was the diviners and medicine men who exposed them, who read the signs, who told the community that animal to sacrifice to drive the spirits back. because sometimes you did not know they had passed until the consequences had already begun. Here is something remarkable about the Nyawawa belief. The ancestral spirits, the tipo of those already honored and settled in their graves, were believed to fight on behalf of the living. People reported hearing the ancestors speaking to the Nyawawa as they passed, warning them, telling them to leave, to go past, to not enter the homes of the living family members they watched over. This is why some Luo people came to believe that the Nyawawa were not entirely separate from the ancestors, but a different kind of ancestors, one that had not been properly settled, one that still carried the agony of how they died. And the solution that the community found for this, sending the Nyawawa to the lake, was itself a kind of mercy. The lake has no inhabitants, no families, no children to call out to. If the spirits are there, they cause no harm. It was not abandonment, it was management, the Luo finding a way to honor the dead while protecting the living. The Nyawawa are one of the most haunting beliefs in all of Luo culture, not because they are simply frightening, but because of what they say about how the Luo see the world. The dead do not disappear, they remain, they remember, they warn, and the living, if they are wise, listen. This is Echoes of the Luo. Ainya.